Hey guys, this is Clayton from Clay Bob's Auto. Today we're going to be talking something a little different than car maintenance and mechanical work. I know right now is the season a lot of people like to go off-roading and go four-wheeling in their vehicles. Of course, you know, the first rule of four-wheeling is never go alone. Always have two vehicles. That way if one gets stuck, you can always, pull the other one out. The first thing you want right off the bat, you want to bring a shovel with you. That way you can dig yourself out if you get sunk down. And you're going to want a couple of good blocks that you can put under your drive wheels. Most of the time a shovel and blocks are all you need. Dig it out, put the blocks under the wheels, and you can go. If you're stuck really bad, you're going to need to bring something like a chain, a strap, or rope with you. Now, whenever you buy these, you always want to go overkill. If your truck weighs 4,000 pounds, don't buy a 4,000 pound strap, chain, rope, whatever. I always go big. That way they don't break. For instance, this strap is rated at 30,000 pounds. It's a little old, as you can see, but it still works. There are advantages and disadvantages to every one of these. The chain, you can vary the length of it by locking the links in, like so you can make it long or short. It doesn't stretch, they rarely ever break, and they're very dependable. Now sometimes if you've got a smaller vehicle trying to pull out a heavier vehicle, you're going to want a little bit of stretch so you can get a little running room, and it's called snatching. To do that, your best bet is going to be a rope. These have the most elasticity in them. That way you're not jarring something loose whenever you go and snatch them. You're not ripping their bumper off or your bumper. Straps, you can do that a little bit, but it's not usually recommended. They do have a little bit of give, but not nearly as much as chains. Before you go, of course, you're going to want to get, these are called DHooks. You're going to want to find, they come in all different sizes. You're going to want to find some that hook to your vehicle, either the front or the back of your tow hooks or your bumper or wherever. And of course make sure whatever you connect these to is solid. Don't hook it to something plastic or a piece of your body. Find some that fit your vehicle, that'll work for your vehicle, because sometimes these chains, the hooks are too small to fit in any of your tow hooks. So you don't want to find that out when you go and get stuck. Now, if you are by yourself, or if the other vehicle can't pull you out for whatever reason, of course the best thing to have would be a winch, but they're expensive. A lot of people don't have the money for them. So if you're four-wheeling on a budget, you can get the next best thing. It's called a come-along. Now these are relatively cheap. Again, you want to go overboard with it. My truck weighs 3,300 pounds. This is a 4-ton come-along. They're slow, you're going to be cranking on it a lot, and they only move about 6 feet at a time because of the short cable. But if you have no other option, these will get you out. Another thing, of course, that every vehicle should have, and that you will need, are jacks. Sometimes you need to jack the vehicle up to get the wheel out so you can put stuff underneath, such as your blocks or even a piece of carpet will work. So most people have scissor jacks in their vehicle. I tend to bring these little hydraulic bottle jacks, mainly because they're cheap, they're compact, you can throw them in the back of your truck and not worry about them. But of course one drawback is they're not as stable, so you definitely want to put them on a level, something level like another block. I carry a lot of blocks with me because you can never have too many. They come in very handy. Now if you don't have another vehicle, or say you're out and you cannot hook to a tree or any other anchoring device, and you're kind of handy with a grinder, you can do what's called a land anchor. Now this is mine. I just made it out of some 3/4 steel diamond plate. I just cut it off. You hammer it down in there, hammer it down into the ground like this. It goes in, and I hook my chain to it right here. Or actually I have a winch, and get yourself out. These are invaluable. If you don't have a land anchor, you don't want to make one, you can buy them. You can find them online, or if you go out and you find yourself without one trick is, if you have a 4-way and a spare tire, you take your chain, your winch, cable, whatever's pulling you, go through the center of your spare tire, hook it to your 4-way, your lug wrench, hook it through that, so that when it pulls, the lug wrench is keeping, your cable from pulling through the spare tire. Go out using your shovel, dig a hole, put your spare tire in there with the chain and everything attached, and bury it, and that makes a very effective land anchor. That way, again, if you have nothing to tie to, that's going to get you out. And as always, especially when you're out four-wheeling, you're in the middle of nowhere, always remember safety first. If you get injured or snake bit or whatever, you're a ways away from any sort of civilization. So as always, be careful. This is Clayton from Clay Bob's Auto. If you guys have any suggestions for me for future videos, something you want to see, please let me know. Leave it down in the comments section below. Thanks.